These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mountain Goat. Banks don't get notified. Get it? This would be called insider trading. The U.S. Treasury is not going to notify banks prior to a rate change of any of the currencies. Yes, the QMF does show a new rate for the IQD, and it was $3.80 last time I checked, but this does not mean this is the rate they will necessarily show on the Forex. Militiaman, in the last few days, what we have seen is a quickening for things to happen because of what the United States Federal Reserve has done by deleting the US dollar from the Iraqi street. That's an ongoing process. That's not going to quit. All right, Mark Z via PDK, we have a bunch of news coming out of Iraq this weekend. They're showing the ISX is listed on Nasdaq, but I don't see any trading yet. But this is a huge development. This is the first in an entire process and an exceptionally good sign. I can tell you the goal is still to flip the switch and the system between the 31st and the 1st. I am hearing this from all my sources. At the same time, if we wake up Wednesday without a new rate, I'm not going to panic because we are watching it all play out. The news is overwhelming. I'm getting constant updates from the banking side and from the government side and from every other side. Folks are ecstatic right now. All right, Henning article quote, the strategic agreement in the International Chapter 7 allow Iraq to request assistance from America regarding the rise in the dollar. Notice that Chapter 7 invocation. All right, RV already says just because we might not be rich today does not cancel all of the progress that has been made. Today, as a target was promulgated on the ISX going on to NASDAQ today. Anyway, per news articles today, ISX signed a new agreement with NASDAQ. It says nothing of a start date for trading. Okay, Pimpy, let's get back to Iraq because their currency is going to hell in a handbasket. Prior to the 2020 devaluation of the Iraqi currency, we were getting 1190 dinars for every dollar. We are heading in the direction of getting 1750 dinars, which is a huge devaluation. Note, going up is bad for us. It's going in the wrong direction. Basically, it's getting to the point where the Iraqi dinar is about as valuable as the Zim dollar. Mark Z via PDK, the U.S. seems to be pushing for a lower rate and not the rate Iraq needs. There's a lot of pushback coming from Iraq. Iraq no longer wants to be proxy of the U.S. anymore and are positioning themselves not to be. Article Prime Minister's visit to Washington is not on the table right now. They have stalled their visit to D.C. It could be because they intend to RV alone and kick us to the curb. Sandy Ingram article, quote, Iraqi delegation due in U.S. over banking restrictions for dollar smuggling to Iran, unquote. Sandy says Iraqi officials are scheduled to meet in Washington early in February to explain why the smuggling of dollars from Iraq to Iran. This is serious. Evidently, there is proof Iraq providing Iran with U.S. dollars over and above the agreement for paying for electricity. All right, Nader from the Mideast says you heard before the 29th, it's going to go international. The 30th, it's not international. What's going to happen? We don't know. The rate will be $3.80. I read somewhere. Wow, I don't think so. All right, Paulette says, I keep seeing all this excitement about the ISX going international. The only thing I saw is the announcement that they are instituting the online trading platform for the traders and that this program had been utilized and tested by one of the brokerage for a period of time. There have been international investors in the ISX for years. Ultimately, the only thing that matters to me is what the CBI does. The ISX just conducts trading based on the official CBI rate. Hopefully, when there's a significant rate change, the actual ISX numbers don't actually change, just the value of what it represents, just as when they changed the rate from 1190 to 1460. All right, Mark Z via PDK, the banking chatter is really off the hook from Europe, Scandinavia, and other countries. Bankers are extremely upbeat about the next 30 plus hours. The hope is that Iraq will announce late in the day tomorrow and our exchanges starting Wednesday. I do not know how accurate this is. I am cautious about the number of places announcing this. I have heard from an overwhelming number of sources that agree on this. Many bankers are giving me the same news. I'm just worried that, again, they're setting up bad guy or two to take a fall. They have done this in the past. I do feel that this is exceptionally close. Frank 26 says, in my opinion, the CBI knows when they are going to give you, the Iraqi citizens, your small category notes and the new exchange rate. In other words, there is a target and it's coming. All right, Walking Stick via Frank 26, Sudani is clamping down on news agencies. The rumors have come to an end. The lies are dissipating. The articles are becoming more factual with the monetary reform education. All the contradictions Iran, the framework, and Maliki did is under control. All right, Mark Z via PDK question. Mark, people are they saying they heard $28 per dinar? I think it's crazy. What are your thoughts? Mark Z's answer says, I do not think it could be that high. I know Dr. Shabibi, who is one of the smartest economists in the world, once said Iraq could easily justify a rate of $14 to $18. He was the architect of this revaluation. When he came up with numbers, oil was selling for around $30 a barrel. And lastly, Yada says, I pay very little attention to those who are looking for the release of the RI without understanding where we are in the process. In the scheme of things and the way money moves around the globe, Iraq really is on the verge of releasing internationally their currency. Too much has transpired not to see the release, and this is something that can't be pulled back. The whole world is affected by this release, and they are prepared to receive it.